just wanted to say thanks for watching, and if you have the time, can you drop down and like and subscribe, and maybe comment what video you guys want to see me do next, because it'll really help out the channel and hopefully get me some traction. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy the video. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going over a 2025 legal Archaludon EX deck list. Archaludon has been incredibly successful in these past couple weeks. We saw Archaludon Dialga win a very large tournament, and we saw just a plain Archaludon deck take third in that exact same tournament. So a very proven, powerful deck, and I've had a lot of fun with this particular list that I put together, and I'll probably be playing this at my local tournaments and possibly regionals coming this next year, because this deck is just so consistent and so much fun. I absolutely love this. So let's just hop right into it. Obviously, our primary attacker is going to be Archaludon EX. We have 4 copies of this, 4 copies of the Duraludon. It has a whopping 300 hit points, so this thing is really, really tanky. Metal Defender costs 3 Metal Energy and deals 220, and removes weakness for the next turn. That's going to be useful mostly in the Cerulege matchup. And as for right now, that's also going to be knocking away all the Radiant Charizards that are floating about in certain decks, but we won't have to worry about that coming rotation. It's just useful for right now. Now, 220 might not seem like a lot, and it's not. Oh, hold on. Almost forgot. So 3 Metal Energy is quite demanding, but thankfully Assembling Alloy basically gets that on there right away for us. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve, attach 2 basic metal from your discard pile to your metal Pokemon in any way you like. This is those 2 are most times they're not gonna be going straight onto Archaludon. Then we got energy for turn, and just like that, we're dealing our 220. We have our 3 energy just by playing our Archaludon. And that 220 is lackluster, so we have 1 copy of Relicanth in here with Memory Dive, which for each of your evolved Pokemon can use attacks from their previous evolution. So this lets us access our Duraludon's attacks, particularly Raging Hammer, which deals 80 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Now, you're probably starting to put the pieces together. More times than not, 300 HP, we're going to be tanking a lot. We're going to be able to, we're just hitting for 220 a lot. You know, it's super annoying, super powerful, and we're going to take some hits ourselves. More times than not, our Archaludon's not going down in a one-hit KO. So if we load up a bunch of damage, maybe we can, instead of attacking their low HP active Pokemon, we can respond by playing Relicanth, so we get our Memory Dive going, or already having them out, and then using that Raging Hammer to respond with tons of damage. This isn't the best example, but it's just the first one that comes to mind. If our opponent Dragapult hits us for 200 damage, then our Archaludon is going to be able to hit for 280 using Raging Hammer in response versus the 220. Now 280 isn't going to kill your opponent's Dragapult, unfortunately, but we're not too worried about that because this deck just sees so much. It's got 4 copies of Boss in here, so we're really able to pick and choose what we knock out when we knock it out. And I don't know, it feels like it shouldn't work, but it just does. It works so incredibly well. So we already went over our Relicanth. As for our other 3 support Pokemon, we have 1 copy Squawk, 1 copy Fez, and 1 copy Iron Bundle. That's it. That's all the Pokemon in the deck. Just the 4/4 line, and then 4 very simple support Pokemon. The Iron Bundle isn't here because if our opponent sends forward something to stall us, like a Mimikyu or a Cornerstone, or if they send forward a 1 prizer to try and mess up our prize trade, we can just Hyper Blower that out and keep moving along with our game as we please. Moving on, we have 39 trainers in this deck, so quite hefty. 4 copies Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards, search your deck for a Pokemon. Very nice for finding Pokemon, obviously, and also nice for getting energy in our discard pile. We need energy in the discard in order to use Assembling Alloy. So, yeah, our Archaludon and Ultra Ball, they kind of go hand in hand in a way, because you're discarding and you're drawing a Pokemon. Moving on, we have 1 copy Vitality Band. Now, I haven't seen a lot of decks run this, but I like it in mine, because I'd play Scoop Up Cyclone, which is very common for this deck. Some decks are playing Max Belt, though, as their ace spec. I like the Vitality Band because it's all we need for certain matchups, like Roaring Moon, 230 HP. So that goes down. Terapagos, if they don't have their Bouffalance out, That's 230 HP. Iron Hands. So in the Miraidon matchup, that Iron Hands is going down as well. So just that 10 more damage is actually useful in multiple matchups for this deck. So another thing while we're on the topic of matchups, the thing I've struggled the most with, surprisingly, is Raging Bolt, because that 240 HP is just kind of annoying, and they need to discard 5 to get knockout, and that's usually not too hard between Teal Masks and Sada. And so I saw a lot of decks play a 1/1 Starmie. Starmie. We'll take, that's trainers. We'll take a look here at that. So what that does is, once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and then discard this Pokemon and all attached. What that's going to do is be able, so 20 damage on, 220 there, that's 240, so we have our knockout on that Raging Bolt. But I feel like that's just, it's just too much work for like this one particular matchup, if that makes sense. And it definitely is a viable strategy. I'm not saying it's not, but I love the consistency that this deck has brought me, and I've been able to just get win after win. So moving right along, we have 3 copies of Earthen Vessel. Again, discarding 1 card. Sometimes that'll be an energy, and then search your deck for 2 energy. So if we have Vessel Ultra Ball in hand, Vessel away whatever else, Ultra Ball away the energy we get, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. There's your 2 energy in the discard. Moving on, we have 3 copies of Iono. Great hand reset, and these supporters are what's going to make the deck, because we do have 4 copies of Professor's Research in here. So really, really just flying through this deck. 2 copies of Professor Turo. This is to pick something up when we need it. If our Archaludon is getting low, but low enough to the point where we will die next turn, but we're not going to be able to get the knockout with Raging Hammer, we can just scoop it right up, get that energy in the discard so we can use another Assembling Alloy, and yeah, that's pretty much, that's that card. As well as we can scoop up our 2 prize liabilities here, our Fez and our Squawk, and our Relicanth. If we don't want our Relicanth going down, and we're going to be able to get away with the knockout with Metal Defender, we're going to want to get that Relicanth in our hand. Say we've gone through our Night Stretchers, we don't want, and we need them later in the game, get them back. A lot of decks play 4 copy Jamming Tower. I play 2 because of that Vitality Band. It's very situational, but if we play our own Jamming Tower and our opponent does not bump it, then we need to be able to find a way to bump it. So instead of 4 Jamming Towers, I play 2/2 Jamming Tower and Cycling Road. Basically, Jamming Tower gets rid of tools. Cycling Road lets you discard a basic energy and draw a card. So all the other decks I've seen with this use Radiant Greninja as their draw support, which is discard a card, draw 2. Radiant Greninja is cycling out, Cycling Road. Oh gosh. And so this is going to substitute for that draw power at least a little bit. It's not as powerful, obviously, but it also is going to give us the option to bump our Jamming Tower if we're in one of those matchups. Again, Miraidon, Roaring Moon, or Terapagos. It's going to be able to let us use our Vitality Band if we did play a Jamming Tower earlier in the game, say before we knew what the matchup was for whatever reason. More times than not, that won't be the case, but yeah. The only annoying thing about the Roaring Moon matchup is if our opponent plays, what's it called? A capsule, an Ancient Booster Capsule, onto their Roaring Moon before we can get the knockout. That can be annoying, but it's not the end of the world, really. 4 copies of Night Stretcher. This is because we're discarding so much with this deck. Discarding to draw more, that we need to be able to get it back. Whether that be just getting back in our Archaludon so we can Duraludon it up the next turn, or whatever the case might be, getting our Relicanth back. There's so much discard happen in this deck that having the 4 Night Stretchers really is important. We've already gone over Cycling Road. 4 copies of Pokégear. Again, just cutting through that deck, finding what we need. Whether that be a Turo, whether that be a boss, research, etc., etc. Other decks, like the one that took 3rd, does play 1 copy Lumineon and then 3 Pokégears. Obviously, Lumineon is cycling out, so I went for the 4 Pokégears here. Not only does it save us that bench space, but it kind of substitutes Lumineon a little bit. Moving on, we have 1 copy Pal Pad. Say we discarded more boss's orders than we'd like to, or we're out of Turos, or we just want a little bit more draw. We can get something back, because again, our supporters in this deck are 3 Iono, 2 Turo, 4 Research, and 4 Boss. So plenty of supporters to go around, and due to this Pal Pad, we also get someone back. 4 copies Nest Ball. So obviously Duraludon, he's a pretty tanky guy. He's not a baby Pokemon. Nothing in this deck can be found with Buddy Buddy Poppin'. So obviously we're not going to run that. And we're just going to go for the 4 Nest Balls to get our setup whenever we want to. Most of the time finding Duraludon, maybe finding our Squawk on our first turn, such forward and forward. Our A-Spec is going to be Scoop Up Cyclone. Again, something's getting damaged more than we want it to, or we just want it off the bench so it's not a prize card liability like that Squawk. We can just Scoop Cyclone that up and get it out of the face of danger. And then 4 copies Research and 4 copies Boss's Orders. Hand reset and discard, and then obviously Boss's Orders, we're all familiar with it. And then 9 Metal Energy. That's the whole deck, so pretty simple. A lot of 4 copies, and I love this. It's so consistent and so powerful. I can't wait to hop into this playtest and show you guys what this deck is capable of. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, we're jumping into our Archaludon deck playlist. Not playlist. Our Archaludon deck list playtest. This deck we do always want to go first, because then we can get our Archaludon. As well as that's going to take first away from our opponents. And in a lot of matchups that can be important. Like I said, due to this, us wanting to go first, that's another reason why Raging Bolt has us beat. Your opponent will go first. So, not ideal, but maybe that'll open access for our professor's research here. Alright, mulligan. So, looks like Palkia Cerulege. Yeah, he's got the Cerulege sleeves, Water Energy, Fire Energy, so we're going to be seeing Palkia Cerulege here. So what I'm thinking here is probably going to be Nest Ball for Squawk. We won't attach for turn because we want to discard it. Yeah, we'll Nest Ball for Squawk, we'll put Fez to bench, pop the Professor's Research. Depending on what we see in our hand, we might pop Squawk. Yeah, this is definitely Cerulege Palkia. So once we use that Metal Defender, we are going to have to stick to Metal Defender to get rid of our weakness with this. But after using that Metal Defender and we don't have weakness, our opponent needs quite a bit of energy in the discard. So usually they won't be able to get there until later game, but we'll see just how capable this player is. They have a pretty standard going first turn. They're getting a lot done, unfortunately, for us. It is nice that they're losing that Night Stretcher. They're going to lose it to the Squawk. Unless they use it for 1 energy and attachment. Ooh, did he forget to Squawk? I think he forgot to Squawk. Unlucky. So our Squawkabilly is prized, unfortunately. So we're just gonna go for this because we're not donking anything. Greninja's enough stall. 2 energy in the discard. There we go. We're just gonna get. We are gonna hold the 1 ball because then if we need bundle, which we probably won't. Yeah, we'll just go attachment for turn because we have the energy in hand. Do we want to spin it? No, I don't think we do. We have Archaludon in hand. Yeah, we'll just... Oh! Might as well deal 30 damage. So we're going to be able to respond with a Archaludon attack this next turn. Assembling... Nope, not assembling alloy. Metal Defender. So it takes away our own weakness. This is where that Max Belt would be nice. Because we do get knockout right away. in the Ceruledge matchup, but we should be fine. We'll see how this goes. As well as Palkia has 280, I believe, so that doesn't help us there. If you're doing the Max Belt and the Starmie, then you definitely could. Oh, that's so annoying. One prize card. Okay. So he doesn't get the attack off. So we're probably gonna go for the boss on him just to get some damage. So there's that. Yeah, we'll spin it. Oh, that's a big spin. We like that. So we do have 2 bosses in the discards. We have 2 left in the deck. We're just gonna Pal Pad these back. Increase our chances of finding it with our Pokégears here. We're gonna go ahead and Vessel away. Yeah, Vessel away an energy. Again, just doing some thinning. I almost. Hopefully he figures, oh, I can just tank the attack. He puts forward his Ceruledge. We'll see though. The reason I'm fine with doing this is because then we don't have to find our boss, and we can just Night Stretcher the Iron Bundle back if and when we need it. So he does put the Squawk forward. Now the thought here, hold on, how much does he have in discard? That's 10 in discard. How much does he need? How much? Damage for each energy card in your discard pile. So what? That's 200 damage, 230 right now. So he needs to discard 4 more to get knockout. So I think we're actually just going to knock out here. Because, yeah, if he misses the knockout, then our Archaludon's going to be able to respond with knockout because we'll pull that Relicanth. If he does get knockout here, that is going to be quite unfortunate. Yeah, 10 in discard. 30. So it should be, he should be hitting for 230 right now. So he needs 70 more, which is, he needs to get 4 energy in his discard pile this turn. We'll see if he can do it. He promoted his Ceruledge, so he no longer has the option of retreating. He's gonna grab an energy. Was it an energy? No, it was his Fez. What I probably would have done is promoted either Charcadet or Greninja. So there's 1 more energy. Because then you would be able to attach and retreat for the 1 more. He's gonna Vessel, probably discarding an energy, right? Ooh, he didn't have one. Okay. Two more Ultra Ball, discarding it. So I think he's 1 off right now. Right? Yeah, he's 1 off. Does he have it in hand? Can he Radiant Greninja it for knockout? Which would suck, but he might not have it. Like I said, he needs... Ooh, and he misses! Yeah, like I said, 300 damage is just so massive that they need... Oh, he probably got it. He's got 1 card left, though. We can probably stall him. Alright, so there he has the knockout, but at what cost? I don't know. Does he play Super Rod? Have we seen any other Super Rods? No. So I think we can just stall him here. Right? Yeah, so just in case, we are going to do that. We're going to look to boss, because he's probably really low on energy here. So we're going to boss his Fez to try and stall him even further. And go ahead and draw some cards, why not? So I think we have game here, because with this Cerulege matchup, he needs to discard so much. He had to expedite so many resources to get that knockout. And if he had missed that knockout, we were playing Relicanth and responding. So even with this Cerulege technically hitting us for knockout, so there, he gets it forward, takes one prize card. Unless he has a Super Rod in his hand right now, we win. Let's see if he can get some energy back into his. He misses it, grabs the boss. What's he got in hand? And there it is, that's game. Because he gets knockout, congratulations. We just pass it back, he can't draw. So, there it is with the Cerulege matchup. Like I said, it's just so tanky that we don't even have to worry about it. Because they needed to expedite so many resources. They ran out of cards in their deck by, what was it? Turn 5. They could not draw on their 5th turn. So the 300 health is just so incredibly tanky that we don't even have to worry about it. And so nice and short video today. We are at 21 minutes, so I think I'm just going to end it there. But yeah, that's the list. Super simple and incredibly powerful. I probably will be playing this exact list. Maybe a little different depending on what we see in terms of cards coming out. But I absolutely love this. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment down below what deck list you guys want to see me do next. Yeah, thank you and have a great day.